we have ourselves a Norse mirror that we're going to be watching today and casting. It is going to be in this bottom side is Borg the Thor player, and Borg the Thor player is one of the top Thors currently playing on the ladder. It looks like he, at least in this instance, isn't going for the Kraghack build that we've seen a few times, which is the 4-minute dwarf build where you kind of move your first 3 dwarves to the palm tree here, and then you get some gatherers and you do something else. This is more the standard Thor that we saw right at the beginning of Retold, where you would just go pure dwarves, and I think it is fine, but it means that you're going to have to get a second gold mine kind of early. That's the one drawback of it. And his opponent today is Bones in the red in the top. He's playing as Loki, one of my favorite picks currently. I'll see what kind of build he actually goes for. So he is going for the second gatherer on this gold mine here, which I like to do. Some players really don't like doing this, but potentially Bones has seen a relic that he likes, wants to get a temple up nice and early because he isn't going for another dwarf here. So what you can do is get a couple of dwarves, a gatherer to help out, then an extra dwarf, means you can get a good advance time to put some pressure on the Thor. If you don't get the pressure done though, you kind of lose because you go up early and he has dwarf and armory, so it's kind of risky. But maybe he's found a relic that he wants to get his hearses out quickly. So fortress-like buildings have no favor cost, which is pretty decent. Blanket of Empress Zoe here, just damage, vulnerability to crush better, so siege weapons not as good. Villagers gunt gather rates for hunt. Oh, that could have gone worse. 5% of base, and I swear there should be another one. Is there just 3? Oh, it's hiding behind a zebra. Temple, food, wood, gold, favor. Research things are cheaper. So it does want the early temple, and less dwarves. Also, less dwarves means you can sit in your base for longer. That is kind of an option, but he's getting the dwarf later on. I don't know what this build is. Temple wanted to come out. It is. It's the early hearses. I mean, there's no relics here that I would particularly want. This one is fine, I guess. An extra 5% for hunt. I mean, there is a lot back here. This is a nice little back section for Bones. He has 7 giraffes, 400 food apiece, plus a gold mine. It's probably going to be the one he's after. Looks like he's going for the temple improvements are cheaper. I mean, Loki does want to get those. He wants to get his, this one here, Eyes of the Forest, which is quite cheap anyway. But then he also wants to get his Hall of Thanes, if that's the route that he is going for with the fast infantry. He's actually going for this one. They're just completely baiting me, going for the fortress-like buildings. Cost no favor, which is good. I mean, you can spam them up. It means that you have that favor to spend on technologies. You have that favor to spend on myth units, reusing flaming weapons, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, this build has literally just changed around. He still wants the 4 dwarves on gold at some point, but he wanted to get a decent advance time instead. I think I've messed this up. I think it's meant to be that, so you can see everything. Is that right? I don't know. Let's hope we can see everything. And looks like Borg on this bottom side is going for a slow advance time. We said that originally with the dwarves being over here. It just means that you can't get a really early advance time. It's about a 5-minute normally if you're doing the all armory upgrades, which it looks like that is what Borg has been doing. Yep, this is his 3rd one. It's also pre-queuing Hammer of Thunder. Maybe even send a dwarf over to shank all these chickens down. He should be able to get that 9 favor in and get that upgrade nice and quickly. So it is the full boom Thor, which Loki can have a tough time against because you are basically just down in villages. You see he's just down 4 villagers here. 1 extra because of the advance time, so kind of 3 villagers currently. But it can be rough. But look at the amount of gold that Borg has spent. He's got 19 dwarves, so no gatherers at all, which means that his gold mine is already half depleted. And yes, he does get a free gold mine at some point, but he's going to have to move out. And the gold mines on this map are sometimes kind of exposed. So basically they're all forward except for this one here, which is very similar to Bones' setup on the other side where he has the 7 giraffes. And we'll be able to defend that one quite well. It's also choosing to go through Freya. So we did have Forseti for Bones. It's kind of the standard. It's also known as Kido. So if I kind of mess up different names, he has about 3 accounts, all top 10. And Borg is going to be going for the Freya. Freya nerfed a while back, but I still think Freya's so good. And the Valkyrie could put some really good pressure on. Bones, though, I mean, he will have his hearses to defend. When you get to the kind of top level where your hearses aren't so as quick as the Valkyries, the players can still position their units in such a way that they're not really going to lose many to the Valkyrie. But it's just good to have a unit that can put on some pressure, can come back, get healed up by a second Valkyrie, and all good. Looks like Keto there did want to drop a house on that settlement just in case Borg decided to go for it, because I mean we said before, it's a pretty juicy settlement with the amount of stuff that is behind it. There is a random Borg house, and it looks like Borg is going to be able to catch the Berserk with the Valkyries. That Berserk will more than likely go down unless there's a lot of hearses coming, which there is. So this one will be able to survive. The Valkyrie, I'm sure, will just retreat straight away, and actually does get caught out before noticing it, so might even go down depending on what the pathing is like. It looks like it is going to get out with 11 HP unless it decides to run right next to the palm tree. But no, gets out 11 HP. No favor in the bank to get another one of these girls. I think she is 18 favor, so does have to wait a while. But just sit back in the base, wait to get that 18 favor with all the hearses that you actually have, and then you basically get her back for free. Even that being said, that was a nice bit of favor that Bones did collect. What kind of buildings is he going for? So it looks like on this bottom side, there is one of everything. One great house, one long haul, getting out the rain and cavalry, getting out the throwing axemen. Then the other side, we just have double long house. So, do we have double long house? Triple long house. So no great halls at all. So not wanting to go into the raiders himself. When the raiders can be strong, I mean, I guess you are up against the Thor raiders, so you're probably going to lose that fight, as he does have Freya raiders plus all the armory upgrades that you just get from Thor. And it's why it's pretty tough for Loki in this matchup, because you just have less of everything. You have less eco, your armory upgrades are not as good, so your units are just worse. The only real benefit of playing Loki above Thor in just a straight engagement is your throwing axemen are going to deal bonus damage to the opponent's throwing axemen and all the other infantry units, because Loki does get that extra bonus. I guess he's also better against myth units. But apart from that, it is pretty rough. And actually, that was an armory being dropped down, and it looks like he's going full Berserks. I do like this. Dwarven Breastplate is pretty cheap, and it gives them a lot of hack armor. So it goes from 35 to 45. So they're going to be able to tank these raiders very, very nicely. And is this going to be a town center? It looks like he's thinking about it. Did have the resources for it. Is going to go for it. So the Berserks are kind of there just to fend off the raiding cavalry. I think they're a really good option, and relatively fast too. If you're wondering why I don't get Herdmen are obviously going to go very badly against throwing axemen, but they're just not as fast either. These guys very, very speedy, and the Dwarven Breastplate will be able to come in, and even getting medium infantry too. So really going into that infantry angle and getting a TC. Did Blue spot this TC? I don't believe he did. No, doesn't. And even so doesn't know that Bones got a second TC, and has already used his Dwarven Gold Mine in the main base. If he knew that there was a second town center from Bones, I think he would have just moved over here, grabbed a gold mine, and thought, I mean, I can easily defend. Look at the military presence difference here. But this is the thing, you've got to always be scouting. And the Thor, he's not so good at the scouting. He doesn't get much scouting info early on. But when you get these raiders in, you can just run the raiders around and get the info in as and when you can. If he spots this nice and early, I mean, he can grab the middle one if he wants to. I don't think the middle one's that good. It's got nothing around it. But he can grab one with a bit more map presence. Come over here, grab the elephants will be nice, because this is kind of easy to defend anyway, even without the town center. Looks like Borg is on the aggressive anyway. Doesn't know about the second TC. Medium Berserks are going to be able to come in, and Borg, I mean, he could hit pretty nice timing here. He's spent all his resources on army, so he has way more than Kido currently has. He's using this advantage to take down some buildings. It's so annoying for the Norse buildings to go down. They're so fragile, and they just take a long time to build, and your army has to build them. So it is a big blow to lose some of those. Nice gates coming up though. Gates on this side, gates on this side. So Borg, I mean, he could guess that there's a town center grabbed here just from how the wooden walls are. But also, Kido could just be on these back giraffes. Also go for a second wooden wall. There any throwing axemen coming through? Looks like there's only one throwing axeman for the time being. So nothing to sit behind the wall and really do the damage. But second wall up, runs back. And the only thing about the Berserks is the throwing axemen are still good against them. The extra upgrade does give them extra 10% hack, which is good for against the throwing axemen because they don't deal pierce damage like any other archer. But still, they are a pretty hard counter. Keto here just sacrificing all his buildings. He can jump through to this gold mine. This is why this wall is so good. Walls behind gold mines are sometimes just as good as walls in front of them because you can just run back through. It's going to be very nice, and that is exactly what the dwarves are doing. Unfortunately, drops the longhouse here. It's going to get taken down straight away. I mean, there's no favor that comes through from destroying these buildings, so it is just the cost of the wood. And all these relics that Keto got earlier are all going to go down. There are some hearses here for Borg if he wants to take them. A lot of players just don't do that. But I feel if you have your heroes here, just click on all of them really, really quickly. It's so quick and easy to do. You can even just keep your heroes in the fight. It isn't like you need to run them back straight away. But at least have that opportunity. And, I mean, he's seen the town center now. Yeah. You would assume anyway, just from how Keto's playing, that he's retreating back so far. And unfortunately, the Berserks are getting caught out a little bit. Nice attempt by the throwing axeman. No ballistics in, still classical age. Actually, I think he can get ballistics as Thor. You can get ballistics in the classical age as Thor. So, I mean, normally an upgrade we don't see. But against these really fast Berserks, I think that would be a really good upgrade, to be honest. Also getting some Herdmen. That's a weird choice. It isn't like it's a misclick of a Herdman where you accidentally meant to get a Hearser out of the other building and you got a Herdman out. He's actually building the Herdman. Maybe expecting some raids to potentially come through. I mean, that is an option. And it looks like Keto's town center is going to go down. And actually, he's only 5 villages ahead after all that. So, not the best value from his second TC. And I think Borg is in a pretty commanding spot right now. Done so much damage to all these buildings. Probably taken 1,000 woods worth of buildings. Takes the town center down. And now he needs to decide what to do. Whether he wants to take his own TC or kind of scale the ages or just try and take a big old fight. The issue is his army, I mean, it's not very fast. He's throwing axemen so slow. So Bones can run away with pretty much all of his units. And it looks like he is going to be trying to use his speed to his advantage. The Berserk's going to run around. The issue is, normally against the Raiders, the Berserks are just so good because of that hack armor. But with the Valkyries in there as well, the Valkyries hard win that fight there. And Bones, he actually does have the spy on these gold miners, so he does know all the gold mine operation is down there. So did try to go for it, gets hit away. So the dwarves went for the sneaky, trying to go for that gold mine. They hit it twice and then went, nah, probably not. Then decided to go up to this one, go no, and he's actually going to retreat right into the corner and eat those zebras probably. The lion doesn't want to let him do it. But yeah, these boys sat right in the corner. And they probably won't be spotted until Borg decides to go for that one. Borg's Q. He is full population, so getting more armory upgrades. Love to see that one. Also getting more Valkyries in. Keto here is up to 5 longhouses. One does go down again. He's just had to build so many buildings here. Watchtower's in as well, and I think that was a lot of villagers that got changed into yes, because he is now down in the villager numbers, so he thinks this is a fight that he can probably win. Drops the healing spring on the back line. Some nice micro from Borg here, making sure that the units don't actually manage to get onto them, but the Berserks on the back line are winning everything, or the front line are winning everything else. A huge Draugr spawn. Yes, someone that micros the Loki myth unit spawns. I always do it, and it's a huge value. You see, he's already got 100 damage just all through those throwing axemen. You gotta love the Loki myth unit spawns. Also, all these throwing axemen, perfectly timed. Basically, barely had any up until this point, up until this fight, and that was a huge conversion of those villagers here, going pure longhouses. And now Keto, he isn't in a winning position. He's basically just bought this game back. He has a lot more military. Actually, maybe he is. I was just thinking about this. There is a lot in queue. I think when these are all finished up, they should have pretty equal military numbers. Score-wise, so close. And Borg is 5 villages ahead. So, I mean, it's basically even. Maybe Bones is slightly further ahead after these units manage to come out. I think that it'll be pretty close. All Norse mirrors should resign against Thor unless you are like 300 elo above. Yeah, Thor in the Norse matchup, you just have to do so much to beat him. It is tough. Looks like Borg did grab this second TC on the back line as well. And the dwarves are deciding to run away. Unfortunately, they can't one-shot the lion. Survives with 1 HP. And the boys are getting out of there. The Berserks, they are trying to have a look around just in case. Love this longhouse placement on this gold mine. Also very greedy over here. I think these guys are going to get caught out unless Borg gets very unlucky. Let's look from his perspective. He doesn't know there's a gold mine there. Is he attack moving? Looks like he wasn't, but he spots it straight away. I mean, this red dot here just sticks out like a sore thumb. It isn't like you can change these over. Oh, fortunately, yeah, you do have to shift click these. This is just a massive thing when you're playing against Norse, or even just raiding in general, to be honest. Just shift click these. Just Shieldmaid and Valkyrie. This is exactly what he's doing. Otherwise, you just end up going after the ox carts, and you just lose so much damage there. Maybe lost 1 dwarf kill because he put too much damage into those ox carts, but still, pretty big raid. While this is going on, Bones does try to get a raid on the backside. Does take out some dwarfs on this bottom side, but the gold mine operation does manage to go back into the town center. Can the Berserks get much done here? Looks like there's a heroic age in for Kido, so it does have flaming weapons, plus battle ball and 169 of the old favor there to spend. But Borg's doing a good job of raiding. Did the big raid down here. I think potentially some of the dwarves up this side might have been killed off, or maybe changed into Berserks, because he is kind of down on the numbers here. Obviously down slightly from going up to the next stage, spending the resource or spending the town center time to actually get to the next stage, but still is down 16 villagers now. And this is the scary thing about Freya in the Norse matchup, is the more you fight, the more you give them Shieldmaid and Valkyries, which, I mean, they're just ridiculous. Berserk's gonna come back around here, drop the wooden wall, and both players are on their 2 TCs. And this one does give Kido elephants, which he's going to be enjoying. That's for sure. They have 900 food in them now. So he'll be able to sit here and hunt for a long, long time. Now, what's he deciding to do here? He has gone the Berserk option through Bragi. So that is going to be Berserks have 10% extra HP. So sticking with the Berserk angle, and he is going Battle Boars. I say, I did play... Did I play Kido's Loki? I think I did. I think I played Kido's Loki when I was Poseidon, I think. And he was Battle Boar heavy. I think these Battle Boars are so good. They're really good siege weapons. If you can just sneak 3 or 4 Battle Boars around just to a TC or just raiding anything, any buildings, they're actually pretty strong. They're not the best raiders on villagers, unless you maybe turn the special off, because the special just lasts forever and it doesn't do any damage. Yes, exactly. Warcrawl knows. The Battle Boars. The old Easter Island head. Where is it? Just pure Berserks. I mean, what has Borg got? He does have a lot of throwing axemen, but still on the medium raider angle, and he is going through Skadi. So Skadi obviously counters the flaming weapons. If the flaming weapons is all in one place, the frost is a great counter to that. But not only that, does have the throwing axeman upgrade to come with it. So pure throwing axeman upgrade against pure Berserk with upgrades, their throwing axemen are always going to win. But we see that little difference there, the 3.3 versus the ×3 damage. That's the Loki bonus. That's the one bonus you get playing as Loki. It's like Kido did go for a little raid on this side, but villagers come back in. There's no watchtowers here, so the Berserks can kind of run around as much as they want, as long as Kido just brings out the one that's being attacked each time. They can get some good damage off. He's also got the nice copper shields there. You don't see copper shields often in Norse matchups, but I feel when you build Berserks, you need it, because they have 5% pierce armor before they get that, which is just nothing. You definitely need that upgrade if you want to be diving town centers. Otherwise, they just go down so quick. Also, just killing off the elephants gives you a bit of favor. And Borg back on the aggression. I mean, that's basically his whole army, though. So many units coming over here. I mean, there will be some dead villagers. Quick reaction time from Kido. But again, attack move isn't the option. Oh, 1 dwarf. Poor guy did lose his life. There's going to be who fought on this side. But you see how much the ox cart tanked there. So big. But he feels like Bones. He might get his units caught out here from these raiders. Plus Valkyrie combo on this side. We see the battle boards. You see, this is what they're good at. Taking down hill forts. Throwing axemen coming in. Kido basically just needs to hold his flaming weapons for as long as possible. Unless he wants to take a double fight like this and have flaming weapons off. But even the Berserks, they're pretty good against the raiders. They're not good against the Valkyries at all. And half of them do go down. Does lose the hill fort on this top side, though. And does it... You see, Keto doesn't watch the videos. This has stitched him up. His throwing axeman needs to walk all the way around to a 21 gold wall on the wonk, and you're in a good spot. And the Berserks do come back over. I think the Berserks maybe are just kind of making the units stay over here just so Keto can actually win this fight on this side, which is a good option. I think Borg just needs to run with these units. No reason to bring them in here. And as soon as these Valkyries come around the back, though, he might be in a pretty good spot. Nice Einherry spawn. And will make the battle boars go even quicker to take these units down. Keto needs to come back, kind of 180 turn these Shield Maiden Valkyries, and he thinks that he's not going to win this fight, so drops Flaming Weapons. I think that was a great usage, because he basically knew that he wasn't going to win. So Flaming Weapons to force the frost, good shout. Does need to make sure to get enough units back over here, get to full population so we can take this fight on the backside. Does have 150 favor. Also, the Kraken is a decent option here, just to pick up a raiding cavalry and throw it around. Looks like Kraken's getting a little bit confused. I mean, maybe it is just feeding favor to your opponent, but might get a couple of kills. 92 damage. Gonna hit that Hersa for a whole, I don't know, 7. The Hersa will be able to take it down. What's Keto building? So he is going for the Herdman upgrade here, which is bonus damage against cavalry. And Borg sitting at that full pop, and his Q is massive. I think Borg, his eco is just, I mean, he had more dwarves for longer, so it's just sitting in a nice spot. And Keto does manage to get out. Maybe it wasn't a good Flaming Weapons. I just think it was just the poorly placed units. If this was a wall, if this was a 21 gold wall, could he have got out there? Maybe. Not sure. Looks like the Berserks are going to be able to spot the nice dwarf woodline chopping here, and should get a good few kills, but nice transformation by Borg. Does manage to hit the eco there. Even though you don't kill the villagers, definitely worth just getting that trade off there and then just run away. And Keto now ahead in the eco. So I assume the kind of eco advantage was still with Borg for quite a while because he had more villagers earlier on, but probably leading into Bones' territory now. And the Herdmen are going to be able to carve up these raiding cavalry, but what about the throwing axemen on the backside, or the myth units on the front? Throwing axemen going after the myth units. I mean, they deal damage to everything, so maybe it's fine. Probably want to target those throwing axemen. Is now doing so, and I think Bones is going to win this fight. They're just, where are all the Borg units? Looks like they're all down here. They're just not in the right spot, and Keto going to be able to take that one away. And can claim himself a middle town center if he really wants to. Maybe that's what he wants to go for. But did win that small scrap. Gathering berries right next to the gold mine. I assume neither of these guys really know what's... No. Looks like Bones knows. Keto knows. And Keto actually did try and sneak the elephants here. Does just transform them into Berserks. Whatever. And the Valkyries are all going to win that fight. Things about the Valkyries, though, they don't really have the time to be healing up. So they are just normal cavalry units, basically. Just some kind of semi-competent myth units rather than the healers that they really should be. And still, the Valkyries coming in. I mean, maybe we're at the point in the game now where the Valkyries just aren't as strong as they were earlier. When you get to that kind of late classical age, if it's an extended classical age, they're ridiculously strong. When you get to this portion where you kind of heavy units everywhere, they just don't really trade as well anymore. I think getting Frost Giants out would be a good shout. Even spending that favor on gold mines is also an option. And Keto just thinks he just hard wins this one underneath the town center because he's just going straight for it. Frost Giant spawn. Going to go down, but it's just pure throwing axemen on this backside. Valkyrie spawn as well for Keto, and yeah, I think maybe just overstepped just a little bit just because his front line just went way too quick. Needs to run back here. Maybe just went a little bit early. Did have his, if he had his portable rams out there, had some more front line, I think it would have gone a little bit better for him. But he is having a good raid off on this side. Does have a portable ram plus battle ball combo, take out the hill fort. But all of the food has been grabbed. There was a gold mine back here. I think it was around that kind of situation. That has also gone down. but just basically just pressuring everywhere. This is what you want to do to distract the opponent, really. And I think there was another Dwarven Gold Mine dropped. Yes, there was, back in the home base. Definitely makes sense. And is this Borg's last gold mine? This is the big issue with the build that he's gone, is you need so much gold. Like, I don't even know how much gold he will have had, but he's got like 54 dwarves at 50 gold apiece. And there was some raided earlier as well. So he's probably built something like 60, 70 dwarfs, which is rough. Like another just cheeky raid coming in for Keto with his super Berserks, all the upgrades. And Borg does not want Keto to have this middle position. Doesn't really have the siege. Maybe the Frost Giants, probably the best siege weapon that he really has. Also going in for the Jarls to counter the Throwing Axeman. Don't know how they trade against the Bragi plus Forseti Berserks, though. And Borg thinks not well, as he thinks that is enough. Can't deal with Bones there. I think Borg was in an insane spot where he took out the town center, took out all of the buildings, did huge damage. But the fight here, where Keto managed to transform some of the villagers, was a big play.